Everyone is becoming someone, but not everyone is becoming intentionally. You won't just listen, you will learn, you will reflect, you will shift. Get ready to hear real stories, real journeys, and real transformation. Welcome to the journey of becoming.
Hit my DM if you drop this news, and was like, "Oh, that is great. I would really love to be a part of this." But I was like, "Well, am I speaking as a co-host together with you? I'm a guest." It's like, "Yeah, you're a guest." I'm like, "Bro, okay, that's fine." Yeah, so it's really a great honor to be here. I don't take this opportunity night lightly. I'm so elated to be here. And before I start, I want to acknowledge the presence of some people here, starting with my fellow colleagues who are with me lined up, on this program. I want to say I really admire you and respect you so much. Most of you I've met, and some I haven't. Some I have through phone conversations and all, and a little I've just come close with. It's been a great stuff. Yeah. I also want to say shout outs to the one and only to Leza. Like he said, we've been together for so many years now on university till now. We're still close. We're doing amazing things. I want to say a big, big hello and all respect to my one and only pastor, Pastor Ivy Spelden, is right here. Thank you very much for showing up. And also, Self Discovery team, it's a privilege to be here. I can see Michael Doku. Michael Doku is a Toliga Narani. So great to see you here. So, before I go on, I want to ask whether you can hear me clearly. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Yes,
I
sir, we
hope I
can
can
hear
be
you.
heard.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Wow. Okay. Right. The journey of becoming. Am I the only one that can hear clearly? Okay, Mike. Can you hear now, Mike?
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So our theme here tonight is the journey of becoming, which to me, ever since it hit my DM, it's been a really moment of reflection for me because um, it's not just like four words line up. It carries deep meaning, carries weight, and as you can see, becoming is highlighted, it's bold and up. That means that it's something that we have to think about clearly. And I'm gonna speak from two perspectives. From a background of faith and also from a background of work, as in what I do. Right. So, what is becoming in the first place? Mostly, people think about becoming as maybe a change only, okay, or a destination, right, or a process that maybe takes place during the course of time. But in this context, becoming becomes more of a big step, okay, to self actualization. You can't become anything until you've made a decision personally to make the change yourself. So before you can become something, you first make yourself the example. Well, what am I saying? It's not a destination, right? It's not just uh, a time we take to calculate when something has changed. The first step of becoming is self actualization, right? And that is what most of the thing that our host has been talking about drives towards, right? So on my side, becoming has been a real factor of growth, building, and this will shock you, even failure. Okay, failure is part and also refinement. So it is a personal decision you take on yourself, right? You take on yourself. Okay, man, know thyself. You gotta know yourself, and you take this big step, and now things start to hold, you know, and also make way for you. So I think that tonight, um, I will start by sharing who I am because he said we don't have to do it. He doesn't have to do introduction. We will do it ourselves, right? So, my name is Bubu Kofi Adiko, and I've been around for some time. Those who know me, yeah, I'm a simple guy, and my dad will always say that be small in your own eyes, right? So my journey of becoming didn't start when I had everything figured out. You know, it started when I didn't. I remember I had a strong or I had an affinity for computers. I had an affinity for digital tools or gadgets whenever I'm in school, um, and I see things like in the ICT lab, I want to get closer. If it's in the science lab, I want to get closer to the, you know, on a car flags, I want to get closer to the thermometer, all those kind of things that I can just touch, tangible stuff, to get what I'm trying to say. And right through it, I saw that it is a path that brought something out of me. And that path was me trying to choose. Okay, I was in a moment of realizing something. And it happened when I took a bold decision to go to the senior high school when I was a little kid. Okay, I went to the senior high school at an age that I wasn't supposed to go, but I did it. I did that because um, I took that decision by the help of my dad, who has also played a really great role in my life, and I did well. Yeah, I tried, and I went to the school. You know, and through school, I focused on so many things until second year, and I told myself that you like gadgets, okay, you like things about technology, you like things about and you trying to pack things, unpack them, and all those things. So why don't you take a step into it? So I started to take my mind off everything, and what I did was going straight into things that relates to those things. So I had a very strong interest in physics. Some of my friends were here. They were, yeah. So I told myself that I'm gonna go pursue that. I took that big leap when I came right to SHS3, and I see. And when that happened, it was a decision that my dad was like, "Well, you've always loved computers and all that, so why don't you try? You love games and all those softwares. Why don't you try?" So I came to the university after I had realized, okay, that is where I want to go, right? So that was the part where I'm trying to talk about self actualization. You just have to figure out that, hey, this is where I want to just direct the cause of everything, okay? And my fulfillment, my talents, my potentialities, everything is driving through this. Then now you can really focus on becoming. So in school, we were taught like any other school. You're gonna have lecturers coming in. Sometimes you go, sometimes you don't. But I just didn't want to be like everybody. Okay, I face the world as it is, and I know what is going on. You know, and what is going on here right now is that in Africa, unfortunately, we are a little bit behind, right? So if you want to do some things, you can just try and use, let me put it as our nation's pace. The pace that our nation is moving, you know, doesn't really correspond to the West. So I told myself, how can I get in the leagues of all these things that other people are doing? Then I took for myself a mentor. All right. So I started looking at the lives of people who had real success in the area of computing, especially my field, software engineering. All right. So I look at someone like Steve Jobs. Until this day, I just look at him. He's on my phone. I read his books. I listen to his documentaries and all that. So I told myself, what is this guy? What has he done, or what did he do in the past that made him stand out? And I figured that they solved problems. Okay, and these problems were built around strong systems. If I talk about systems, there are two things I'm trying to talk about. The first one is a system as an organized state or an organized area where things exist. So in a workplace, we have a system like that. Okay. And another system is also, it could be a definite set of algorithms or structures or machines or things that you put in place to run, how do you call it, whether a program or what have you, a computer, all those things. So building these systems were some stuff that these guys paid close attention to. Okay. And I told myself that over here, what we are being taught in the schools is that you learn just for exams mostly. Is they ain't gonna tell you, but that's what sometimes it is. You learn for the exams. So we go and cram the book in our head and it doesn't do us any good. So what's gonna happen is that I told myself, I'm not gonna be in this with them. So how can I think like these people in the West? How did they start? How did they go beyond that? And I told myself, these people had already arrived. Okay. And they built systems. Right now, there's been research that says that almost everything that we would need has been built as in applications. And the most sophisticated companies are thinking of ways to bundle everything together in one application so that if you pick an application, you do multiple things at a time. So these things discourage people who are trying to build. So you actually said that, what do you do then? You know, but one thing that can be beaten is a system, like I said. So in every field, there's a system going on. Now, how, how don't so as they deploy Japanese citizens to Rolls Royce as servants. You get what I'm trying to say? That's why Jesus Christ said that the greatest among you should be the one to serve. Okay. Now, when these people came in as servants, what they did was that when the company doors hit open, they get into the workplace, they keep sweeping, they keep mopping. And whilst they're doing that, the citizens of America, the native people, are going to be working on cars. They're going to be building engines. And these Japanese and these Chinese engineers are going to be copying things and they are going to be writing things down. They're going to be sending it to their country. In less than 10 years, they had sent like 3 cohorts to the United States to learn how to build real systems. And that's how the Japanese started building systems like the United States of America. Right. But maybe we don't have that privilege. You and I, we don't really have that um, opportunity to go there and do that and copy. Right. So you can do that. But how can you do that? You can do that by exploring, by reading more about what these guys did. Are you following? So you explore. Part of exploring is to know your niche, is to know the kind of people in your circle, is to know that you are here and you have a well deposit, let me say, resources at your disposal. Okay. So I started searching around, praying to God, Father, how can I do this? And God started answering by bringing people into my lives. Now, one way that you can see through barriers and see through some things and I realize some things about yourself is to make way for people, positive people to come into your life. All right. So God gave me amazing people, amazing friends, real people that understood me, that gave me opportunities. And one of them here is Tio Plus. Okay. Tio Lenza. Shout outs to Tio Lenza once again. So we came together, you know, and for the record, they say big things start small. We've had a team. I had just come back from internship from a software company and a hospital which use technology to solve most of the problems in return in Route 22. So it's called Britannia Medical Center, and they had partnered with small. By then, it was a startup, okay, an IT startup called DevTech, which is still there, and these people were using technology and medicine, which is called health tech, to solve problems. So when I got there, I was coming from this part of Ghana, and I would just go to Accra to just learn under these people, and they were, um, like bossing me up, not just like bossing me up as in they don't wanna, they are fronting on me, no, but you could see that they are top at what they do, and I'm nowhere close. Okay, so they helped me climb up, but then I realized that there's so much more I can learn from these people, right? And that part was where I started exploring tools. I started exploring resources to just um, weave through all these barriers of self-actualization. So that path was met with great resistance. Why? Because you are at a place where it doesn't feel like home. You're at a place where you're not even staying with your relative or something. You're at a place where you have to bond with people. You have to learn. You have to burn the midnight oil, do a whole lot of YouTubing, and all that. And I came out refined. When I came out, the first set of people I was with, I told them, guys, this is what I went to see in Accra. This is what we were doing. And for the record, the software company used blockchain to solve real problems. They use Web3, and also they use sophisticated frameworks to solve um, um, real life problems. So I came back knowing some of these tools, and I was kind of like on top of my guys. So I was trying to tell them, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, and most of them were like, you are too complicated. People are going to tell you that, don't let that, but I told them that no, we have to do things this way. These people are ahead of us. We can't be learning things the old way. All right. So I'm gonna speed up. So they made light of it. Okay. And I was like, wow. So I started doing some things on my own, and boom, there was this fateful day I met Tio Lenza, and we talked, and he was as bright as I was. And I was like, yeah, this was going on, and I'm coming from this place. These people taught me this. You to what you get. And he's like, yeah, oh yeah, I love to impact people's lives. We all know Tio Lenza to be purpose driven person, to just totalize around and make people better than how than he himself. So I'm like, really, you like to do that? I had no interest in doing that. I know you're on doing that. I'm like, nah, I just want to build stuff, And he's like, yeah, but we gotta touch light. We gotta do this. So he took me to a brood, and it was a fellowship. And we started doing Bible stuff, Bible school, and I came in as someone who is like, oh, I don't do these Bible things, this school, this church, but it changed my life. That was a place where I had so many breakthroughs. I fell into the company of good friends. My spiritual life skyrocketed. Things were good. And shout outs to him for helping me though. So if he is trying to put this thing right here for some of us to just know about it, it's not something that it's not a hollow promise. It's something that he's been doing. And I want all of us to really show some respect. So that is where it started from. And my exploring part of this self actualization was beautiful. I just landed into the right company. We started doing things together. And what helped me was he also said computer sciences. So I'm like, why don't we do things together? And I come with the ideas of tech, and he also meets me with ideas of tech. And we solve problems and we spar. So sometimes he's gonna pull his laptop, I'm gonna pull mine, and we're gonna go on challenge. He beats me, sometimes I beat him, and we make laughs around it. We still tease ourselves to this day. And for the record, he beats me so many times. So I was like, yo, you are good. So why don't you just do something about it? And he said, yeah, um, I want to do something about it. I'm like, okay. So I told him that I want to build like where I'm coming from. I saw them building a company. Can we do something like that in the Brown Hartford? There's nothing like this in Brown Hartford. Really? Can we do something? He's like, yeah. He's also been thinking about ways to help the young people, the youth like us, and people comment. I'm like, yeah, so can we do something together? He said, yeah, we can do something together. And boom, that's what brought about We Make Space that you all know today. And that would take me to the next point, which of the celebration, which is the construction stage. So you can't construct anything if you haven't explored, you know. So that step of self-actualization or that step of becoming has to do with yourself. You explore who you are, you find meaning through God and through um, help in others, okay, over in real life problems, and now you try to construct. So we told ourselves, why don't we build a company? We build a tech company. So we started focusing on tech things. We read tech books. I came with this book, How to Build $1 Million. Anybody who is here who is a computer scientist or that will be a computer, but you want to build $1 million, which I recommend for anybody who is a builder here, that they should read that book. It's a great book. And they told the group what you have to get a co-founder, and the co-founder have to do something like a wife to you. So I went to him and I told him that why don't we make this in a big thing? We are just under the lights. Why don't we build a real company? Why don't we do it? Hey, we register. It's in the law. We are in the constraints of the law. We are in the constraints of the financial sector. We are putting our real company. And he's like, yeah, we gotta do that. You know, and that's what we did. And like, you brought a nice idea about the social e-commerce app. I'm like, yeah, we spiced it, and that is what you also see right now called Fashnet. So we started building. Till now, we don't stop building. We build all the time through the midnight hours. All the time we are building things. We are helping people. We're building things. We're helping people. So exploring stage, constructing stage, building. But you can't build without purpose. If you build with purpose. What is the purpose? Putting an objective before you, and always objective comes from a problem. You have to identify a problem. If you haven't identified a problem, there's nothing you are gonna build that will really make sense. You're gonna be beating around the bush. So we found this root cause that was which are core problems, and it was this e-commerce state and also a real estate problem, which we are building extensively. So pick a problem, construct, and it's gonna bring out something great. You know. The next stage I want to talk about, which is the ownership stage of your man. You have to be able to take responsibility. Building doesn't feel like it. In building, there's nothing like there's nothing like I feel like it. I feel you don't feel anything. You get it. You don't feel anything. The emotions don't work here. You have to build because you identify something. Okay. Yeah. So you take responsibility and you grow. What is this growth process? Sometimes building is tough because you're gonna fail. You get what I'm saying? And most people back down when they fail. You see? But first of all, as Christians, we know so many times from the Bible. Um, Recently, there's been a research that came out that do not be afraid. It's in the Bible 365 times, which means that anytime you go through a problem every day in your life throughout the year, it's like your life is under insurance. How many of you have heard that thing before? Give me a thumbs up or something if you've heard that. So if you're working with this consciousness, you should know that something is covered out. You feel what I'm trying to say? So you step out trying to build, taking responsibility after you explore yourself, after you construct. Taking responsibility means that the thing is trying to get traction. And as it's getting traction, things are getting bigger and smaller or whatever way it's going. It might break or it might scale up. You have to take responsibility of holding it down. Okay. And part of it is happening in our lives right now. And everybody who's listening to me right now, you have things that God gave it to you, and some of it is doing well. Some of it is getting out of hand that you can control. Some of it is neutral, and you're thinking of what should I do? Right? You take responsibility. That's what you should put in your mind. Take responsibility of it. If it's failing, don't blame people. You know. And I'm guided by an example like that. There was something that happened in We Make Space recently, which was almost a negative thing. Almost a negative thing. And I'm serving, at We Make Space as the CTO, and I told the people that who is responsible for this. I didn't have to even tell them. The thing is projected on the wall. The person who is responsible for this. And I saw that I'm the one responsible for this. I could blame other people, but I told myself, no, software is going bad. I'm the chief technology officer. That means I gotta fix it. So I suck everybody out of the room and I just take the whole thing, I put it on the table and I fixed it. It's hard. Taking responsibility is really hard. You shouldn't forget that it's really hard. So let's take responsibility, guys. Let's transition into being an owner of what we're working. As you gotta possess it. That is the word, because if you don't possess it, there's no way you're gonna bring out the full potential of the thing. Yeah. So these three things, to me, is what created the shift. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the shift. The shift has to do with moving from learning to building products. And someone will be like, why are you talking about products? Because I'm a software engineer. And being part of a software engineer is you knowing that you have a whole lot of responsibility. You have a whole lot of tasks to make systems work for people. I know some people are here, although maybe you might not be a software engineer, but you are maybe a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever. If a client presents you with a case, they go to sleep, right? and they pay you money to solve the problem. So what they are waiting for you is trying to deliver. Okay, they don't wait to hear stories. Okay, so you be like, these issues happen, these things happen, but I went to no, they don't. Excuses that don't make champions. So you have to move from learning to building. And when you get there, you take responsibility, but you think like who you are. So if you're a lawyer, you think like a lawyer. A doctor, you think like a lawyer. You think you're a software engineer, you think like a software engineer. Okay. Then you understand where you're coming from and the business and everything together. These days are going to make a big shit for you. And I'm going to leave you with this. You know, the Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 29, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before the. And part of the responsibility stage and the big ship stage is being diligent. You gotta be diligent. You know, this word diligent, if we try to break it down, is gonna give you facets, you know, of responsibility. You show strong care. Okay, you are particular about something, even you are laboring to get it done. Okay, intent, you know, you gotta have all these things at the back of your mind, and that is gonna shape your journey. So I stand here and I talk to you right now as someone who hasn't arrived. You know, don't think about becoming as arrived. Some people are gonna do like, hey, becoming the people on there before arrived. They're like, Mark Zuckerberg, Aliko Dangote. No, that's not what we're talking about. Becoming is not about arrival. Okay, no, it has more to do. You know, it's continuous decision that you take every day to grow, to take responsibility, to refine yourself, to fail, and to build, and to make the world a better place. So that is what we are doing as we make space. We make space as a vibrant tech company, sprouting out of West Africa, Ghana. I'm saying West Africa because I got information that some people here, you know, participating from abroad. So we are focused on solving real problems through technology, using software to help people grow and solving real problems. We are not just coding, we are building real systems. And our first system that we embarked on is a social e-commerce app. And this social e-commerce app is not just your social e-commerce app or an e-commerce platform that you know that you go there, it's boring with mathematics and all that. We are making e-commerce social for you. So think about shopping like you getting into Amazon and you are shopping like you are in Instagram. You get what I'm trying to say? You getting into Temu and you are shopping like you're on Facebook. You getting into how do you call this one? eBay, and you're shopping like you're on Spotify or you're on Pinterest. That's what we're trying to build, you know. Yeah. And we are bringing this out to you this year as part of our vision for the company. And also we're working strongly on the real estate app, you know. So I'm thankful to God that He helped me, you know, find all these people who are gems in my life. Gems, GEMS, precious stones in my life, helping me grow. And I'm really thankful to the one and only Tulensa again. Tulensa is the CEO of We Make Space and a co-founder, just as I am. I'm the acting CTO. And we have other people here, Eunice and all this, Black and all. Shout out to you all. I'm really thankful to have you with me. So becoming for me is not just about personal growth, it's about building things that creates opportunity for others. And I pray that as we finish this session, you also find meaning even more than I did and build the next big thing in your field. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Bubu. Thank you so much. Um wow, I think that has been a great journey. And thank you so much for all the shout outs. I really wasn't expecting that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Some asked this. We've taken all the time. Thank you. We shared a lot. Thank you so much. And I believe we've learned something tonight. Right. So first of all, how has the journey been so far? I don't know if you mentioned that. What lessons have you learned and what challenges have you faced? How do you stay consistent? Right. So that is what I want to know. If you can make it very short, I'll be very happy. Right. So that we can move on to
There was a buffer. Sorry, but there was a buffer. Can you say that again?
right. So how has the journey been so far? I think you've mentioned that the lessons you've learned and what challenges have you faced? How do you stay consistent? I think I'm interested in how do you stay consistent? Right. Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that so that we can move on to the next speaker. Then we have a conversation. Then we close for the day. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me.
Right. So you talked about how I stay consistent. If I got you right.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that there's one word, and I'll spell it out. That word is conviction. You get it. So conviction is one way that helped me to stay consistent and focused. I had my eyes on the prize, and like you said, in our in how do you call it, our meeting, that as an athlete you have your eyes on the prize. Okay, you are running a race to win. Okay, so what do I have on my agenda list and my priority list? All of those things is something that I put there, and it's out of conviction. So it helps me to stay consistent, and I produce out of not hurried, no hurriedness, but of fun. One way you have to see whether you're trying to stay consistent is how you do the thing. You know, it should be easy for you to do. I didn't take this as a challenge. I did it like something that I'm trying to do for fun. So it helps me to build my consistency pattern because I don't see it as a burden. It even comes into my area of faith. In my church, I serve as shepherd. My church in the Lighthouse Stop International, and I'm in the media team, and it's a hell of a task, to deliver always, to be giving your best. And so many of my people complain about schedules, they complain about this, they complain about that, but I do it for fun, right? So it's plenty of tasks doing what I'm doing and adding that, but I have a conviction, that I'm doing it for a prize. Okay, so have the prize on your eyes, or the prize of trying to build a software that people can use it and make their lives easier. And in turn, you also build on your vision as a company by growing and commercializing it. So same way, if you are serving as a shepherd, you know that your rewarder is Christ, because he says that you are not keeping your eyes or attention of a city which is built by hands, right? But a city whose built actors, God, right? So conviction is the word that I will give you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. You are welcome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. So what you are trying to say is we must have a vision, and the vision is going to guide us, if I get you right.
Absolutely, Blue.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is great. So please, now I'd like to open it up to the audience. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. Bless him. Okay. I think we have to drop them in the chat so that we can move on to our next speaker. Then yes, please kindly type it in the chat.
Thank you for watching. If this added value to your journey, don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share it with someone. And let us know what stood out to you in the comments.